Hi there, and a warm welcome to Winner's Corner. We have a great weekend ahead of us. It's not one, but two V75 rounds. We're off to the southern part of Sweden, to Malmö and Jägersro racetrack. And what a weekend this is. The fantastic horses coming out.
It's a great weekend. It starts already on Friday with one race day there. And then Saturday, we got the V75. And Sunday is the main event. It's the Derby.
And the V75 this Saturday, what does it look like?
It's a pretty tricky round. A few of the favorites do look very strong, but several of the legs are quite open, and I'm hoping for a nice payout.
Well, let's see what Mike has for us today. We're starting off in the fifth race, and this is the race that marks the start of the V75. And of course, we're wondering, what do you have for us here?
I'm going to go against the biggest favorite of the V75 here. Number 7, General Bianco, is starting the first time with the circular system, and I think he's going to make a break. Instead, I'm going to go for Friend of Nature. I really like this horse. He's better than what you can tell from the race card. Last time, he finished quite strongly. He got a very difficult trip at the back there, but it looked like his form was on the way up. That was in a Derby elimination, and he was out against the best there. He kept even pace with Policy of Truth over the last lap there. So I think the performance was better than the result. He's very fast from the start, and with only 5 horses on the frontier here, I think that Colgjini is going to send forward right away. He's definitely going to be able to move off the rail, since number 7 is going to take a very slow start or go off stride. So if he just heads forward right away, I think he's going to be allowed to take the lead, and the distance is better for him this time.
And of course, everybody is a friend of nature. Turning the page to race number 6, and the beforehand most trusted horse has been scratched. Did that make it easier or more difficult to solve?
Well, it made it a lot more difficult. I was going to bank Winner's Wine here, but now that he's been scratched, I'm instead going to go for number 5, Chac Noir, who suddenly has a much better post. Number 5 with the circular system is very tricky when the 6 horse comes up on the outside. But now that 6 is being scratched, I think that 5 will get away good here. He showed very good form second to last time when he was out against some really tough horses in the Summer Cup final, and finished third there for Ville Karolahti. He's a tough horse. He's been out on the V75 now, I don't know how many times running, and I feel that he moves down in class quite considerably. So beforehand, I thought there was a big risk he was going to go off stride, but now with the scratch, I think that he's going to get a good start with Erik Adielsson here, and he feels like a very interesting bet.
There you go, another interesting win bet. We're moving on to the 8th race, and I know you think there's 2 horses standing out here, Mike. Which ones?
Yeah, typically in this kind of race, the horses on the handicap tier draw a lot of attention and tend to be very heavy favorites, but they very seldom win. Instead, the winner is always found on the front row here, front tier, and I think that it will be the same. Number 4, Pharrell, impressed me a lot last time at Solvalla. They pulled the shoes for the first time, and the horse was greatly improved. He just flew over the final stretch there to win in 14-4. I think that this horse is on his way up. He hasn't been all that impressive earlier in his career, but if he just repeats that performance, he should have a great chance at winning this, especially with Johnny Takter in the race bike. But he's up against number 5, Walter LPC with Colgjini, and that one also offers great value for money. Much better form than what you can tell from the race card. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and go for a real long shot and go for a Quinella with those 2 real outsiders, and that we're going to get fantastic odds on this one.
Sure sounds interesting to me, a Quinella there in the 8th race. Now we're moving on to the 9th race, and what is your betting suggestion for this one?
Here I'm going to go for a horse that is going to be quite overlooked after going off as a clear favorite on the V75 several times running. Number 6, Highland Park. Now, the horse failed completely last time, but, you know, they're horses, they're not machines. Every horse can have a bad day, and just to overlook him completely this time, I feel is dangerous. The way he looked when he won a few months ago, when he was on his way up, the horse had throat surgery and then came back to the track and was really a lot improved. And then he won 2 straight wins in very impressive style. Here he wins in 13-3, just jogging. After that, he's failed twice as a clear favorite on the V75, and this time he's going off at very low percent, and we're getting good odds on him. So this one I like.
So if you want to follow Mike's advice, go for a win bet there in race 9 with number 6, Highland Park. And now let's move on to the daily double. It's handed out in races 10 and 11. And if you find the winners in these 2 consecutive races, you will be greatly rewarded. How you saw it? Let's start with the first leg of the daily double. Have you found one horse or do you need more?
Well, there's one horse that stands out. Number 3, Electric Light, is a very likely winner. I think he's going to go wire to wire here. But I don't want to miss out on the daily double with number 9, Nakoda Goy. This one I've been following for some time now, and he's going to win any day. So on the daily double, I double my system.
So 2 horses in the first leg of the daily double. And of course, let's take a look at the second leg. And on the V75, which we're getting to later, you choose a number of horses, but you're sticking your chin out now.
Yeah, I'm sort of hedging my bets here. It's a wide open race, this one, and I would like to mark all the horses, but on the daily double, that's very seldom worthwhile. Instead, I'm going to go for a banker. Number 4, Iago Zone. Great post this time. He's had horrible posts now in the past. He loves the sprint distance, and he is a very tough contender over the sprint distance. We remember him when he won the V75 back in June. He was very impressive that time. And I feel that Joachim Löfgren's horses are also moving up in form. So Iago Zone is going to be my banker on the daily double at least.
So 3-9 in the first leg and then a banker for Iago Zone in the second leg. And of course, that makes 2 combinations. Now let's move on to the highlight of the day. It's of course the Pick 7 V75 handed out in races 5 through 11. And of course, you need some good bankers to lean on. And we haven't at all talked about the fantastic third leg. What a race this is.
It's a very nice race. It's the free-for-all or the gold division, if you like. Pretty open race, but I think Volstead really stands out. He's tougher than the rest. He's got a great post, and he's a likely wire-to-wire winner here.
In the sixth leg, you took a stand for 3 Electric Light, of course. Which one of these 3 bankers is the best one, according to you?
Volstead is going to be a pretty clear favorite, but he feels like the safest one. I'm excited about Jacques Noir there. I think that one's going to be a bit overlooked.
And of course, I noticed that you need a lot of horses in the last leg. Is there someone other than the favorite that you would like to mention?
Well, I really like Iago Zone in that leg, but on the V75, it looks like we're getting very low percentage on several horses, and it is wide open. So since I have a couple of favorites as bankers earlier on there, in order to get the value up and the payout up, I'm hoping for an upset there in the last leg.
And so are we, hoping to get our paws on the big money. 540 combinations is what Mike's V75 system is made up of. Well, folks, that was all we had for you for this time. For more information, please visit our website, SwedishHorseRacing.com. And don't miss out on the great weekend in Jägersro, and the best of luck to you.